5 6 4 5 6 0. Connected to node 5 6 4 5 6 2.
WU7N testing.
The system.
Node 3 7 4 7 0 8 5. Connected to node 5 6 4 5 6 0.
And good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that transmit digital amateur television in the DVD format. We transmit on 70 centimeters to a crossband repeater on Cougar Mountain, and it spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about our group, please Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage on the internet. There you'll see the exact frequencies we transmit and receive on, a little bit of history on our club, and also you'll find a link to YouTube where we stream our nets held Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we simulcast our audio on our sister 2-meter station, WW7 ATS, with a frequency of 147.08 with a tone of 103.5. Again, that is frequency of 147.08 with a tone of 103.5. So with that, I'll pause in case always fully underway. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Signed in by video link already is Ron, K7QKU. Richard, K7ITX. Jim, N7QO. WU7N, James. And Carlos, 87NP, Clyde Hill. And I am Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. Let's go up to Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
Sorry, Dave. I was nesting here. So good evening, everyone. This is KD7QKU in North Tacoma. So I can't receive the streaming tonight, and I can't make my iPad work. It won't connect. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I don't have much else to report for now. We got a new doorbell, and I had plugged it into the same outlet, and I just unplugged it. So I'll reboot my computer, see if that does something. So back to that, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. Let's pick up Richard, K7ITX.
Okay, yeah, this is Richard, K7ITX. I'm at the Northwest Kidney Center, Panther Lake. When I'm at the Kidney Center, I'm audio only tonight. So maybe Ron will be audio only as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to heading out to Monterey, California. I've never been there before. We got a direct flight, and I'm going there for a fun and exciting event at Laguna Seca, WeatherTech Raceway. We're going to continue hopefully our winning streak. I'm pretty excited about that. So so right now, Josh, our driver and mechanic, he's charging everything up. It's charging up the transponders, charging up the battery, just getting everything buttoned up for the trip down to California. He's going to catch a flight tomorrow. Then I'll be there Saturday morning. Kind of root for him and help him in very minimal ways. So I guess with that, I'll be missing the hot weather that's going to start up while I'm gone. And I'll be in the cool ocean air, just off the coast of California in Monterey. So anyway, we'll see who else is on the net tonight. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks with that, and wishing you a happy trip down to California. Let's go to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Well, Ron, you have a reluctant computer. Imagine that. Most everyone has that from time to time, and some of us more frequently than others. Good luck with that. Dick, thank you for joining us from dialysis. Roger, you are audio only tonight. Sometimes all it takes is luck. Sometimes it takes the other guy to be bad. Sometimes just make sure nothing breaks down on your equipment. So I'll keep my fingers crossed for you there. Missing the hot weather. Gee, isn't that too bad? I'm sure you're going to miss that. And on the other hand, that cool ocean air actually sounds good for your brand new lungs. That's my 2 cents. Let's see, what can I say? Today ran a bunch of errands, mostly with my wife. Sometimes the hours go by quickly when you're doing something that is maybe less fun, but you have to do it anyway. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, thanks with that. Let's pick up James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
Okay, Dave, this is James. I'm synchronizing now.
WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
WU7N.
Okay, sounds like I'm getting good audio into the 2-meter system. So, well, I got a couple of questions here. I don't know if Richard is on Echolink or some other digital mode coming into the repeater, or if he is on is he just regular RF tonight? Because if you're coming in from the kidney center, I was curious to know how you were doing that. Let's see. Also, Richard, I hope you continue your winning streak and have a good trip down there. Ron, I lost your train there. You said you had a new doorbell and you're going to try rebooting your computer. I'm curious to know what the doorbell has to do with the computer. Is it like a Ring doorbell? Or what the connection there was. And Jim, glad that you got errands done. I too went out and did a few errands today, but mainly I just kind of wanted to get out of the house. Been dealing with a couple of medical bill issues, which is quite frustrating actually. Errors and things that just should not be. I'm actually got a company that is I'm working with now. This is such a sad comment on American healthcare. There's enough problems that someone actually made a business out of it, of just finding all the boo-boos and fixing them. And they get 20% of what they saved you with the error correction. So anyway, well, I received something here recently I thought you guys might both get a smile out of and also learn something like I did. Let me flip the camera here. So this little board right here, you can see that it's quite small. There's a tip of a pen. Here's my fingers, my big fat fingers picking it up. And as you can see, it's just on one side, it's a USB-C input that you plug into via a USB-C cable into a little wall wart. And then you set these dip switches, and then what magically comes out these two screws is various voltages ranging from 5 volts up to about 22 volts, depending on how you set the dip switches. I was wondering when I bought 5 of these things for about $5, how can it do that? Because as you look at the board, there's only one big chip on here. It seems very small. And just not very many components. And of the components, the surface mount components, you see one of them is an LED that just lights up when you plug it into the wall wart. And by that, I'm referring to something that looks, well, if I can get it untangled here, it looks like this. And as you can see, this is just an Apple charger. It has a USB-C on one end, and this particular cable has a little lightning connector to connect it to old style phones. And compared to the wall wart, you can see that the board is pretty small. Well, what I didn't understand, and this is a sort of a technology advancement issue, what the board apparently is doing is it somehow sending communication, I'm assuming at least 3 bits, somehow, to the latest and greatest PD either 3.0 or PD 30 wall warts. And what those wall warts can do is they put out a lot more than 5 volts. If it sends the right magic code to a modern day, and I might have 2 of these, I just don't have the correct cable to connect them, what it does is it tells the wall wart, okay, bring it on, send 9 volts, send 15 volts, send 20 volts, whatever. But if you just have an old stupid wall wart like this one here, it of course doesn't know the magic code. So the only thing that happens if you plug an old style one like this into the board is you get 5 volts out this. So the only thing it really does is it converts the USB-C cable connection here into 5 volts coming out the 2 screws on the little 2 screw side over here. So I learned something for my my $5, but the thing is, I've got all sorts of power cords, but generally don't use them for data. And I'm pretty sure if I have this correct, and this is what this does, I'm pretty sure I'm going to need a USB-C to a USB-C to actually plug in just by accident. Plug into the back end of this. I'm pretty sure there's got to be, all the lines there, whereas all my converters and cables, really all you worry about is the plus and the minus, the ground and the 5 volts. And there's got to be at least, I figured, if it's serial, maybe one other line or maybe 2 or 3 other lines to get the 3 bits to the intelligent wall wart to tell it to change voltages. So if any of you know anything about this or have heard of this, let me know what your thoughts and comments are. And as you can see from the thing right above here, I've been dealing all day with really annoying medical bill issues. So that's all the hot news that is news. and don't know how many of there are here tonight participating. But
WU7N, thanks with that very interesting device. I can't imagine how you can control the amperage coming through something that small. If it would cut off the amperage to the point where it was unusable, or on the other hand, pass through too much amperage. But anyway, I guess that's up to those that make those wonderful little creatures that you can buy for $1. Well, anyway, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. So let's move on to Carlos, 87NP. .87MP, no audio on 2 meters or on digital audio.
No audio, Carlos.
Okay, that was on the right frequency, just not the right PL. I hope you can hear me now. There's some audio flowing. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was saying that something wrong with the audio going into the transmission. I'm not exactly sure why. I see all the right information and all the right LEDs blinking, but the audio wasn't flowing. So I've N-keyed the 2 meters. Unfortunately, that thing is gonna try to overmodulate me, so I have to stop it every 2 minutes. So good to hear everyone. Ron, I see, I can monitor that you're trying to launch the application again. I'm curious what happened, because at 7:41, I can see that you entered the system. But we can definitely try again. If not, you can definitely just watch the stream from the link that I send you on the text message. Okay, let's see what's going on here.
I think we're back.
I'll try to figure out my audio problem. So good copy on Richard. On James, interesting device.
Interesting device.
Yeah, power delivery is fun. I use it in my car. You can buy one of these. Wall warts. I think I have one here. I'm afraid to just take it out because something will get disconnected. But there's this boxes that have multiple connectors that all can do power delivery. And in my car, I use one of those boxes because I have a 110 connector inside the car, and then the power delivery can do the 12 volts for my Icon 705, which is what makes it give 10 watts. And so, I mean, you're correct.
Yeah, I mean, you're correct.
Oh, sorry, it was giving. You're correct, Dave, that kind of it's limited power amp on that. Oh, just a minute on the repeater. Okay, 87 NP again from Clydesdale.
87 NP again from Clydesdale.
It has some limitations on the amp.
It has some limitations on the amp.
I'll go and check the
standard.
Depending on the wiring and depending on the negotiation with the power delivery, I thought it can do at least 1.5 amps, but I'll check the spec. And I'll let you know on the next one. So I was at CPAC in Seaside, Oregon last weekend. I'll have some pictures to show next time. Once I figure out what's going on here. And I'll send it back to Dave's Net Control. This is 87 NP in Clydesdale.
87 NP in Clydesdale.
AD7NP, this is Dave, KD7CYM in Lake City. I've got 62 degrees and cloudy outside. I guess we got some warm weather coming up this weekend. Be looking forward to some sunshine, burn off some of this excess water that we have, but I think every drop we get we need, the way the winter water snowpack has been. And for me today was just getting some things done around the house. That was about it. So did get out for a little walk in the neighborhood, got a little exercise, and that was about it. So anyway, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, again in Lake City. And so we'll move it back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, this is Ron, KD7QKU. So, I'm trying. The streaming works fine on my cell phone, Carlos. I clicked on that link on my cell phone, it works fine. But my other laptop and my iPad, I can't connect up and transmit a picture. It just won't do it. I don't know why. Maybe the key, you told me the key lasted until August or something. So, yeah, he's nodding up and down. So anyway, Discord works fine on my other laptop, but the laptop and the iPad just won't hook up. I don't know what the deal is. So I don't know. I'm going to turn it back to Net. Just listen to you guys. KD7QKU, back to Net.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. Let's pick up Richard again, K7ITX.
Okay, well, let's see, the last time I checked, the Mariners were 3 games ahead of Texas in the God, I can't think of it. I lost my train of thought. Well, anyway, they're ahead. They're ahead of in the not playing, but in the race for the playoffs. So they're but they lost today, and so now and Texas won. So they've gone from 3 to 2 games behind the Mariners. That is, Texas has. So anyway, it's kind of fun to see the Mariners in first place for once this early in the season, and if they can just keep winning more than they lose, they should be all right. So anyway, now let's see what else. And another kind of exciting information for us is Josh, our driver for our car. Well, I don't know if I mentioned it Saturday or not, but he picked up a female race fan, and evidently her name is, we've found through the grapevine, probably through my spy network. Her name is Shirley, and she's a doctor in Oakland. And the word is she's going to the race this weekend. So, and my spy happens to be his mom. So, I'm going to act pretty dumb about the whole thing when I see him this weekend, and just looking forward to see Shirley, the doctor from Oakland. Well, who knows? I'm getting there kind of late. He may already be hooked up with her on Friday. I don't get there until Saturday. So it's exciting. Exciting news, and so it's just another side story to add to our travels with the 69 Datsun 510. So anyway, I've got plenty to talk about, that's for sure. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks with that. Let's pick up Jim in Covington, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Jim, that sounds interesting. A business which finds errors on medical bills, and all they want is a cut of the money they save you. Wow, that sounds like a winner. This medical billing stuff is really out of control. We still continue to have problems. Some people want to bill Medicare first. Some people want to bill Medicare last. It's kind of messed up. And what's the correct answer? Well, it depends on who we ask. So what's really the correct answer? Well, I don't know. Yeah, so far so good, but I may want to get that number from you sometime. Carlos, good to hear you in there. Excellent pictures. Some minor problems with the audio, but sounded good at the end here, and looking forward to pictures from Seaside. glad you have the opportunity to attend those things. That's I don't know. Somehow it seems like there's just never enough hours in the day to do the things that some of us need to do. Dave, yes, we do need every drop of water that we get around here. Fortunately, we are not having problems with flooding in our part of the country. It seems to me that there are other states out there that are getting some of the water which we should be getting. But I guess that's the way it is. Dave, I see you got your haircut just in time for the hot weather. And speaking of the hot weather, man, plants are growing around here like crazy. Flowers, we've got roses that are just blooming like, I don't know, like they've been on some sort of super fertilizer or something. They look really good, but unfortunately, the weeds are also looking more like a tropical forest. So I have yard work to do in abundance around here. Dick, your driver, well, the spy is her mother. We won't tell anyone. Yeah, you do have lots to talk about. It sounds like including some gossip. So it's a maybe an undesirable job, but someone has to do it. So anyway, we'll hope you have fun and have a safe trip to the races there. Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, thanks for that. Get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's go to James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
Thank you, Dave. This is James, WU7N, synchronizing right now.
WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. Okay, sounds like I've got audio to 2 meters. Carlos, for a while there during your transmission, it sounded like there were multiple audio streams all combined, like many tracks all playing at the same time through some of your transmission. So I just thought I'd get that signal report to you. Not sure what was causing that. And thank you very much, Carlos. I got the on the digital channel there, the text channel, that what some of the specs were for these little boards. The only thing I can think of, I think these boards are really kind of designed, or the chip that's on the board, I've got to look up the chip and see what it's supposed to do, is they must be there to really... Okay, I'm getting motorboating here. Okay, I'm going to drop this and go to 2 meters.
Okay, this is James, WU7N. I went ahead and dropped that because I was getting all sorts of strange motorboating noises. So I'm waiting for about a 6-second delay. Sounds like on the streaming, my audio is coming through just fine now. As I was saying, I think those little boards, or at least the chip on the little boards, are really kind of must be for battery charging, I think. And the reason why they've expanded the standard so your little wall wart doesn't put out just 5 volts anymore to charge your iPhone or whatever. It puts out more voltage because that would mean you could get more energy through with less current. And so if you have a wall wart that could handle the power, you could have more voltage and more current, which would be a net gain of more power. That's the only thing I can figure out what these things are really for. And then someone just put them on a board and with 2 screws on them, so that if you've got some kind of little project and you have an intelligent as what Carlos texted me, you have an intelligent wall wart and you have a super heavy-duty cable that's marked e-commerce or whatever, then you could also use those to power your projects. The problem I see is that you don't have any rearward, or I don't know how you would say that. You don't have any retro compatibility. So, in other words, if somebody comes along with an ancient little wall wart that's just stupid and puts out 5 volts and can't receive the magical signal however it gets it, then your device wouldn't work anymore because your device is expecting to send magic codes and get different voltages. So, anyway, again, I appreciate the information from Carlos. If anyone has any more information on that or just in general, what problem were these things trying to solve? I'm interested. I guess I got my $5 worth just in trying to learn so far what they don't do. What I was expecting is something I could just plug 5 volts into, set the dip switches, and then it would be some sort of a buck converter, like using pulse width modulation and a capacitor, and put out some sort of higher voltage, even maybe at a low current. So, but that's definitely not what they do. Those are other boards, and you have to watch them. I already got some of those that. The pulse width modulation rate isn't high enough really, and they don't really work that great. So you have to put a huge big capacitor on the output side in order to hold the voltage up. Well, anyway, let's see. It's 37 minutes after the hour, and I guess I'll turn it back to our net control, Dave, over there in Seattle. This is James, WU7N.
WU7N, thanks with that. Let's pick up Carlos, 87NP in Clyde Hill.
Okay. I think we have audio on the right channel. And hopefully we won't have duplication. Yep, so, oh gosh, it's too loud. Let's lower it a little bit. So to the question, why this PD? So the typical USB, when we use USB-A or micro USB, which was just 5 volts, I think that was kind of good enough for charging phones and all of that. But when you use today USB-C to charge your laptop or either MacBook or Windows PC, there's a lot more asks, and so there's many different USB-C cables that support both higher amps and higher voltage. I mean, a PC can ask about 20 volts and multiple amps. I mean, we're going all the way to, I think this last laptop has a 65 watt. 65 watt is standard. I think I now have a 95 watt delivery into the laptop. So as more and more powerful devices are coming into the market, leveraging the same USB-C, which is becoming kind of the default format for charging multiple devices, and even many of the radios today. I mean, the latest ICOM portable that I got gets charged over USB-C also. So I think it's really good that you carry one cable for USB-C and it charges most of your devices, and then different devices will ask for different voltages. But yes, so you will need a proper kind of wall brick. I have one in my desk there at the office that has a very nice screen. It's usually the Anchor ones are my preferred ones, and that one from that I have there on my desk is about I think 4 or 5, and can do all the way to 200 watts simultaneously, which means can be charging a laptop and kind of multiple phones at the same time. The more basic ones, and hopefully let me see if my camera can get to it without me losing anything. See if I get there. No, I think I'm gonna lose something. Is it too dark? Probably too dark. I need to eliminate. Yeah, it's hard to see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there it is. So this device is a device that usually does power delivery on multiple USB-Cs. This one doesn't have any display, just a basic one, and it still has USB-A also at high power. Usually they're about something between $20 and $30 on Amazon, and those should be okay to deliver on multiple formats. So this one is already going a bit long, and I haven't done the pictures yet, so I need to get ready for the next one. Sorry about that. And thank you on the note about the multiple audios. Yeah, it seems like the audio was working at some point in time, and I had to manually disable the key of the repeater that was coming from this audio stream, and that was overloading with the 2 meters. But I did the typical software engineer thing. I just powered off everything and powered on again. That's how I handle hardware. Sending it back to Dave, net control from 87 NP in Clyde Hill.
87 NP, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. Oh gosh, I was wondering about airlines, and Jim, being a pilot, retired. There was a story that came across from Canada that they had a commercial pilot there for the airlines that had been flying, I guess, for about 15 years with expired credentials. However, he was okay with flying the plane. He knew all the ways of doing that. But anyway, it was kind of interesting to see that he could slip through the paperwork all those years and do so many flights. And getting on to Jim, a medical correction thing for billing. It sounds like it's a great form to do. I was rather shocked when I got the bill from Overlake Hospital. It was very pricey for the surgery procedure I had, but luckily my insurance covered it all, so I was happy with that. So anyway, I was, like I said, very shocked with I felt that Overlake overpriced their services a lot. But I guess if they get it from the insurance agencies, more power to them. And I hope Ron got his tablet working again. So anyway, we'll see what that happens. This is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. So let's pick up Ron again, KD7QKU.
Okay, thank you very much, Dave, KD7QKU. Well, my streaming seems to be working fine on my iPad, and it worked momentarily on my computer, but and it quit again. I don't know what the problem is. Now it's back again. So it seems to be intermittent. It looks like Dave is still transmitting a picture here. I'm getting him on streaming, but I don't know if he is or not. I guess he was. He turned it off or went away. So I don't know what's going on. My iPad seems to be working fine. I can go out and get news and everything else, but I just can't make the little transmitting deal work. So we'll have to wait till Wade gets home, and then maybe he can see what's going on here. I can call now the streaming seems to be working fine on my laptop again, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, it's fun listening to you guys. I always enjoy that, and I really don't have much to say other than I was, like I say, checking things out here. I can get the website for Watts, and I can look at the pictures of the officers and all the other stuff. I just can't get streaming. I don't know why I can't get the streaming, but I can look at the other stuff on the website, and my iPad seems to be working fine, other than that little app that we use to transmit picture with. I forget what it's called, but anyway, so much for all that. So I'm enjoying it anyway. So back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks for that. Let's pick up Richard, K7ITX.
X. All right. Well, Ron, yeah, it's too bad that you're having difficulties tonight, but your audio is coming across just perfectly fine. So, anyway, I was kind of hoping you would be able to take your Corvette to the Seattle Pacific Raceway, but I understand sometimes those things aren't possible, and so I had a brainy idea that I'll take the Mustang to the car corral and show off the Mustang. It's kind of an unusual sports car, and I thought it would just fit in perfect until Debbie, the YL, put the kibosh on the whole idea. So, and you know how sometimes the War Department steps in and kind of has a way of killing these ideas. So anyway, that was kind of a bummer, because I thought it was really a great idea. But no, I guess not. So anyway, oh gosh, what else was I going to mention? I don't know. I think I'm kind of petered out on everything I'm talking about. So with that, K7ITF 73. Back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks with that. And let's go to Covington, to Jim, N7QO.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Well, Jim, you were saying something about motorboating. You sounded fine over the television repeater. Then you sounded fine on 2 meters as well. I did not hear any motorboating, so I'm not sure of the origin of that. Carlos, different cables. Yeah, between my wife and I and various other devices that we've had over the years, we at least tried eventually to wind up with cell phones that would use the same connector. For a while she had to have a BlackBerry for her job, and I don't remember what at the time. I've had a variety of cell phones, and I got one that would work in a whole bunch of different countries. I've got one that was working in like 100 different countries, but it would not work in the United States. And finally I got one that would work everywhere that I went. But ironically, it still would not work well at this house. So that's the way it goes. But it really is useful when everything uses the same connector. That's one of the things I disliked about Apple. I have my phone currently uses a Lightning connector, and then before that I used a little connector that was, I don't know, probably about an inch wide, and it was unique to the iPhone that I had. I'm glad that everyone seems to be going to some semblance of a standard, the USB-C, and I have seen different versions of that same cable available. So yeah, I don't need any of the fancy ones, but I've seen different ones available. And let's see. Oh, Dave. Yeah, that pilot. I saw something on television which said he's licensed, but not like adequately licensed. I'm not exactly sure what that means. It seems that you can't do what you need to do unless you have the proper license. But on the other hand, maybe there's a difference because it's a different country. He may be legal to do everything in his own country, but not necessarily internationally. That's what I'm guessing. So I don't know. We'll see about that. I'm sure we'll hear more about that over the next couple of weeks. And let's see, insurance paid by medical bills paid by insurance. Yeah, that's really glad. I'm really glad that they were able to accommodate you there. I know my wife and I are paying outrageous sums of money for medical insurance. That is something I was not expecting after retirement. I thought everyone goes on Medicare and they pay everything. Well, they don't. Not by a long shot without you paying something extra into Medicare. So that's not entirely useful either. It's not it doesn't solve every problem. And it seems to me there's something strange going on with the medical insurance business. I see humongous amounts of money charged, but then they say they give you a discount because you have insurance. And So that means if you don't have insurance and are paying out of your pocket, then you have to pay full price. Maybe that's just a way that the providers can write off things on their taxes at the end of the year. I don't know, just a thought. Anyway, yeah, the system is not perfect. Probably never will be. Anyway, back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, thanks for that. Let's pick up James again, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
Okay, this is James, WU7N in Northeast Bell. Okay, so I'm getting... Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. Okay, I think I've got good audio here. Well, okay, I'll flip. Yeah, kind of what against here in my world. Testing. This is the connector you're probably thinking of, Jim. It's the Lightning connector. It's the little flat one that goes into the like iPhone XR. And I believe this is the one the Europeans are trying to make standard, which is what Carlos was talking about. I think it's called the USB-C. And here's the classic USB that you could never get upside down or right side up the first time. And as you can see, I've got little wall warts. This takes a USB-C. I actually found this laying on the street. That's where I got this one. And then this one here has the classic USB connector. There's another one that's similar to this, but it's kind of squished and flattened out. I don't know what they call it, but there's a couple power packs I think I have that use those. But what I got is I got little connectors. They're just tiny little solid pieces that just like they change the USB-C to this Lightning or vice versa or something. And that was really convenient, but it's for power only. It won't do data. So obviously, if you have an intelligent wall wart like the ANKER that Carlos was referring to, that uses a signal from the device to say, hey, give me 9 volts, give me 22 volts, give me 15 volts or something like that, then those aren't going to work. Because those little connectors they have all over the bag, hey, this isn't for data, it's just for power only. And they should say it's for like stupid older power only. So that's the story there. Also, on the pilot, I read kind of an extended article that seemed to be pretty well written. He didn't have the Canadian equivalent of an airline transport pilot, an ATP license. And that's what he was missing, which is pretty important. To get your type ratings for the big iron there. And so whether there was or was not any real safety problem, he certainly didn't have the right credentials to be doing all the additional training he was doing in simulators and such. I have to kind of laugh at it, although it's not really funny, I suppose. Well, it looks to me like we're at the top of the hour, so I'm going to turn it back to Dave. Anyone out there listening, the Western Washington Amateur Television Society meets 8 p.m. West Coast time, USA, on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Anyone's welcome. You can just check in and check out or join the conversation. Just let our net control Dave know what's going on. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to Dave. Take it away, Dave.
WU7N, thanks for that. And for a final, let's go to Carlos, 87NP in Clydale.
Okay, 87NP. Audio is a little loud. Let's lower audio. Okay, switching to the other view that shows my monitor. Let's see if the image stabilizes. So this was the setup at CPAC. it was like a conference room that they have there. Many old radios. So that was the bottom floor, and then let me just see. At the upper floor, yep, there it was. And let me just see if I show this. They have a raffle system where you can, for $5, buy some additional raffle tickets, and then get some prizes. I did not go into that. And Jim, to your point, it's a good one. You know, on most of the time driving there, I was in multiple meetings. I was working on my way there. And then Saturday, I went there in the morning to this event just for, I think, a couple of hours. And then I ended up buying an antenna, and I took the antenna and the car to the beach, and let me see if I show. That's a view of and that's definitely something that I enjoy. In fact, one of the good things around here is the ability to take your mobile station to the beach. I've kind of put the antenna on the ground there, and I think I tuned to 20 meters on my 705. And believe it or not, I was able to talk to a car that was just 10 meters to my left and another car that was 10 meters to my right. I would call it DX. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for the net tonight. And Dave, back to you from 87 NP in Clydesdale.
Thank you, Carlos, and those participating in the net this evening. This has been the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net, broadcasting in digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. So with that, we'll close up the net at 9:03. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Good evening, all.
KD7QKU. Jim, are you still there, N7QO?
Yes.
Okay, well, it always amazes me when I listen to you guys talk about medical insurance and expenses and everything, because we have Medicare, and then we have Aetna Medicare Advantage, and we make no monthly premium payment to Aetna. And we do have to make some co-payments when we go to a specialist. I think we pay $35. We don't pay anything when we go to our primary care doctor. And if we're in the hospital, we have to pay for the first 3 days or something. Now, Joanne, was medevaced from Long Beach to Portland, and the bill was $40,000, and we had to pay $750. I just, you can get Aetna Medicare Advantage, and you can pay monthly payments, small. I think one time we paid $35 a piece, and then it seems like one time we paid the total for the two of us was about $100 and some. But then Joanne this last time chose a zero, so we pay nothing to Aetna and use their Aetna Medicare Advantage and then Medicare, and we do just fine, and we have lots of expenses. So I don't know what you guys do, but anyway, it works great for us. We haven't had any big bills to speak of. I mean, every now and then, I mean, when I was in the hospital, I think we had to pay $1,000 or $950 or something for the first 3 days. But, you know, I mean, I had sepsis, and I was in there, and it was a big bill, and we didn't pay anything exorbitant. I feel very fortunate with the coverage that we have. All right, that's all I had to say. KD7QKU.
Aetna. Okay, thanks, Ron. I will look into that. Yeah, next time sign-up time comes around, I'll investigate that a little bit. I remember we looked into everything a few years ago and decided on what we were going to do. I'm not 100% sure why anymore, but it's probably worth investigating every few years. Thanks, Ron. Good night, N7QO.